Guys, I just got some news from Ridgid, and this is going to be upsetting to some and make other people really happy. It's going to depend on where you're at in the Ridgid line and how you're going to feel about this. I'm going to be very, very respectful of your time. So we're not going over tools. We're going to go over information, show you some things, and then we'll go over these at a later time. I'd like to take a lot of this discussion down to the comments and see how you guys feel. Stick with me as we go through this news. All right, in this news, let's start out with the bad news and get this over with. First, we are losing everything in the Ridgid Octane line. That is going to be set aside. So any of the Octane batteries that you see, this is the 6 amp hour, they have a 9, and they also have this nice compact 3 amp hour. They all had 21700 cells in them. They are all going to be pushed aside. The Ridgid Octane tools, they're going to be available online for a little while, but that's about it. Those two are going to be pushed aside. Ridgid is going to push out 3 different lines. These lines are not going to be as, I guess, separated like they were in Octane and non-Octane. First, low end is going to be brushed. Any brush tool is going to be Ridgid's low end line. The one step up is going to be the subcompact brushless line. That's going to be similar to what we see that's out now. It's going to be a small 12 volt style tool that's going to connect to the new smaller 18 volt battery. And then their high end line, which would be equivalent to what Octane was in some ways, is going to be a brushless line. So for most, that's going to be really easy to understand. You're not going to have a brush tool and then a brush, or a brushless tool and then a brushless Octane tool. If it's brushless and it's full-sized, it's Ridgid's most powerful. Now they're going to change these batteries out to, the high-end ones will be their max output. You can see them here. I have a 2 and a 4 amp hour. They are 18650s. They are smaller. When we put this 2 up next to the 3, it is significantly smaller. So I do have some new tools here. These are going to be the new brushless line that's out. This was a 4-pack. We'll be going over that later. It did come with this charger, and to me, this charger is not an upgrade. It's a downgrade, unfortunately, but it's a kit. So there are going to be more chargers coming out. There's going to be a 2-port charger. There's going to be a 6-port sequential charger. There's going to be a lot of things coming out that are going to actually be good. So let's go over some of the good changes. First off, all you guys with Octane were probably sitting here going, oh my God, what's going to happen with my LSA? What's going to happen with my Octane tools? The good news, and I confirm this with Ridgid, is that anybody who has an Octane tool and the battery dies or something happens and it's covered under the LSA, you're going to get the equivalent. If they don't make the Octane anymore or it's not available, you're going to get the equivalent or a little bit better. So if you have the 3 amp hour Octane battery, this dude dies, you go in, there's no more 3 amp hour Octanes, they're going to push you to the 4 amp hour max output. So they're going to treat you well on that. If you have the big 1,300 inch-pound drill and you take that in and they don't make it anymore, unfortunately that drill is not being replaced. That drill is going to be replaced with a smaller 800 inch-pound drill. And if I called that a 1,300 foot-pound drill, I apologize, it's inch-pounds. So this drill is getting smaller. Most all Ridgid's tools are going to be more compact. They're going to go for pretty much what Milwaukee is in, right? More power, but compact. And unfortunately, in this case of the drill, we're going to get more compact and less power. So maybe they'll start upping their game again with that, but we have some of their new impact driver here, a new recip saw. They've changed up a little bit of their texture on the grips, but supposedly for the most part, the tools are going to get smaller and more powerful. And that's going to include a grease gun that's here that is new, they've never had before. It's going to include 2 framing nailers. That's awesome. It's also going to include a new circular saw, a new mid-torque impact, and a new high torque impact. The high torque impact is going to pretty much maybe be a touch smaller, but match the same specs as what the octanes were. So I guess the good news is if you had the octanes, the LSA is going to cover you and upgrade you to a point. The other good news in the LSA is in the past, if you just went in and said, hey, I got to buy an octane battery, and all you bought was a battery or all you bought was an accessory, you basically just had a 1-year warranty, 6-month warranty, 2-year warranty, whatever was on the box, that's what the warranty was on the tool. From here on out, all Ridgid products, even if they're purchased separately, meaning if you just go in and buy a battery or you just buy an accessory, all products are going to be covered under that LSA, so they will have a lifetime service agreement no matter how they're purchased. That's huge because in a lot of cases you couldn't get the larger batteries and you had to buy them separately, which meant there was no lifetime service agreement. So lots of information in here, guys. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I just want to give you some news and some tips on this. If you're going to go out and you really love that 1,300 inch-pound drill, pick it up now. Pick it up while it's going to be on sale because it's not going to be out there that much longer. There might be some other things in there that might fit your fancy now. If you want to, try to grab them if you find a good deal, but know that they're going away and they're going to be old stock. A lot of new stuff's coming out. Subscribe to this channel. We're going to go over all this stuff individually. Give us a like in this video, and I want to hear your comments on this below because that octane going away was jaw-dropping to me. It really was. And it was kind of sad, but I hope that we see some big improvements in the future and with the smaller tools and with more power. Love to hear what you're thinking, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.